Welcome back to Top World Disc Golf, coming to you from the epicenter of disc golf at DeLaveaga Disc Golf Course. This is the Santa Cruz Masters Cup lead card. I'm Keenan Dalton, here with Paavo Stubstad.
What up, Keenan? Happy to be back again. Excited to watch Round 2 feature card here at DeLaveaga, one of my favorite courses out there to watch. Round 1 was exciting. Round 2 should be even better.
Yeah, what an awesome lead card. We don't have Ezra Robinson like we did in the Round 1 featured card, but we've swapped him out for Top World Disc Golf's Jacob Blair. And we also have Gannon Buhr, Ezra Robinson, and Niklas Anttila. This is the same layout as Round 1, and it'll be the same for Round 3. But just in case you didn't watch, here we have the double Mando oak trees. Got to get it up over these railroad ties, up over the fallen log, in order to give yourself a look at this long par 3. 347 feet, but plays like much more than that.
Yeah, this is a crazy one, Keenan. We saw 0 birdies in Round 1 from the entire field. Let's see if anyone can get it here in Round 2.
Welcome to day 2 of the 2025 Masters Cup. This is our lead card. First on the tee from Lawrenceville, Georgia, Isaac Robinson.
Looks like Isaac is opting for his Orbit Rive again this round.
Aiming for that right side gap. Looks good. Gets some great ground play. That would be a in the circle putt on the original long pin. Now he's going to be maybe edge of circle 2 for the ultra long pin.
Yeah, it's about as good as you can do it. See if he can get the elusive birdie on hole 1. Next up, the Finnish cowboy, Niklas Anttila.
And for those of you who missed Round 1, we talked about it there, but DeLa is already a difficult course in an average layout, and for this event, they set it to pretty much the hardest possible layout imaginable. Niklas coming up a little short.
It's not me, actually. Third on the tee from Scotts Valley, Jacob Blair.
Yeah, stoked to have Top World Disc Golf's own Jacob Blair on the lead card today. He's throwing his octane off hole 1.
Going for the left gap. Probably didn't flip up as much as he wanted, and yeah, it kicks back to the middle.
Rounding out the lead card from Urbandale, Iowa, Gannon Buhr.
Number 1 player in the world. Also, he got the win here at the Santa Cruz Masters Cup in 2022.
Yeah, that was kind of headed right at those trees for the whole flight. Almost squeaked by on the left side of them, but not quite. Kind of a nasty kick, too. We'll see what he's left with from over there on the left side of the fairway. Oh, not too bad. Little Annie forehand approach shot around the corner here. And he's good for a par.
Nice upshot from Niklas with his tactic. Should be in circle 1. Maybe a little obstructed with the baby oak tree.
Jacob chipping up. And just like yesterday, this hole averaged pretty tricky, hit 3.43. Kind of a tweener here. So here's Isaac with about the best birdie look you could hope for, which is still, like I said, edge of circle 2, and yeah, it comes up just a little bit short. Niklas with the only kind of tricky par look here. Everyone else is pretty parked. Niklas is pretty close as well, just a little bit of a tricky stance, but he's good for it. Yeah, the majority of the field did just par this, as one would expect for this placement, 65% par. And just like day 1, we had 0 birdies.
Let's hope for a birdie on the final day.
Yep, Isaac showed you the drive required. You just got to hit that perfect drive and a huge putt.
On to tournament hole 2, 354 feet. The thing you got to do is just do not go right on this hole. There's a cliffside there on the right side. Most players will opt for the sidearm over everything, but there's always the backhand shot up the gut.
This is one of the few, I'd say, average holes on this layout, averaging 2.94. Average hole meaning players are definitely hoping to birdie, but it's not a birdie or die, and it's not a tweener par 3, par 4 like a lot of the holes are on this layout. Isaac turned it over a little too much. Most likely a par.
Yeah, it looks like he was throwing his harp again, but it just didn't get the ground play or just a little low. Here's that sidearm route from Niklas.
A little bit long right. I believe he parked this in round 1, if memory serves.
Yeah, it doesn't usually get all the way through the trees without hitting any of them. So he's going to have an outside C1 putt. Here's Jacob Blair with his Halo Destroyer.
Yep, good shot. Circle's edge short.
Gannon likes that route as well, going PD2.
I must have clipped some branches a little early, but he's going to have a circle 2 look from there, I think. Let's see if Isaac gives this a bid here. He looks like he wants to. This is probably back edge of circle 2. Oh, no, he's just laying up. That's kind of what I expected.
Gannon's got more of a wide open view through the trees at it.
Perfect.
Cashes the birdie.
Great putt from Niklas as well. And he is also on the board.
Sneaks in left side chains.
Jacob Blair with the CTP on the card and the birdie as well. 3 birdies, 1 par from who was our co-leader, now dropping down to second place with Niklas taking the lead at 8 under par.
On to tournament hole 3. This is one of those holes at DeLaveaga everybody remembers, probably because of the famous Greg Barsby roller ace on this pin position. But not too many of these players are throwing the roller today. I think they're mostly going to opt for the air shot over these trees and crash into the green. Hope you don't get caught up in these oak trees because 2 meter is in play.
Like hole 1, this hole averages at right around 3.4, but this one is more birdieable than hole 1. It's just extremely difficult to get. Let's see if anyone on our card can do it.
Oh, yeah.
This looks good.
Wow, long. Not often you see that on this pin placement.
Definitely not. Up next, Jacob. I think he's throwing his Hellfire here.
Oh, get lucky. Skip up. Oh, not that way.
Uh-oh.
It might be okay. We'll find out.
Oh, and that sticks in the tree. 2 meter penalty. Only in California.
PD2 again from Gannon. Similar line to Niklas.
Yeah, hits the trees, comes up a little short, but that's a putt. And you're happy with any look on this hole. Here's Isaac. Let's see if he can bounce back from being the only guy to miss the birdie on hole 2. This is a good-looking line. Get out of the way, Gannon. Oh, yeah. Maybe circle's edge left or just outside. Great drive.
So here we've located Jacob Blair's disc in the tree. At first we were looking for it on the ground. Now we're going to have a little card discussion about the rules regarding the 2 meter.
Just verifying if it's in play, or what do you mean?
No, Jacob was thinking he could take it back along the line of play in the 2 meter, but the rest of the card thought that wasn't part of the rules, so they're trying to verify that. So it's eventually determined that he cannot take relief backwards and he needs to take it directly under his lie.
Interesting. So the standard OB rules don't apply to a 2 meter penalty, which is technically a different type of penalty than a regular OB. I did not know that the taking relief straight back on the line of play did not apply to 2 meters. Tips over after he throws. And he's up there, but long look to save the bogey at this point.
Yeah, bogey 4, so he's kind of near where Niklas is here.
Oh, he must be closer than this. Okay, I thought he was a little farther away. So he's got a better chance to save the bogey than I thought, but here's Niklas for a birdie. Oh, just a little bit low. Wow, great bogey save from Jacob there.
Yeah, great putt to save the 4 there. And this is Gannon for birdie.
Just left side. At least it didn't roll away. Another double kneeling putt from Gannon. We saw a bunch of those yesterday in round 1. Isaac wastes no time. Gets the only birdie on the card. Great bounce back. I guess it's not technically a bounce back since he didn't bogey the previous hole, but on an easier hole where the rest of the card birdied it, it kind of feels like a bounce back.
Yeah, now he's back in a tie for first. Let's go to hole 4, 393 feet, par 3, super straight. Not much else to say. You got to miss these early oak trees and keep it turning a little bit to the right because there is an acacia forest on the left side that is very difficult to get out of. And you don't want to go too long because of the sloping green on the backside.
Yep, this is one of the many holes at DeLaveaga where the play is probably to come up a good 60 or 70 feet short and slide up to the pin to mitigate the chances of rolling down that hill behind it. Good looking straight shot from Isaac, just a little low. That is most likely going to be a layup for par from there. Niklas, that doesn't quite get enough turn.
Yeah.
That is definitely going to be a layup for par.
Ooh, ace run.
Wow. Well, doesn't look like he'll have much from in there.
No, that's that acacia forest I was talking about. Really a bunch of small trees that are difficult to get out of. Basically jail.
Not too far from the pin, though, so we'll see if he can manufacture something with his long limbs stretching out in one direction or another, or kneeling. And Jacob fades into the rough on the left. We have seen players make some good putts from out of there in other Top World coverage of this course.
Yeah, I was surprised that he threw a Raptor there because most players not throwing a disc that's that overstable. Here's the birdie look from Gannon.
Oh, man, that was so close. What a bid. Looked super tricky. And here's another tricky putt from Jacob. Gotta love DeLaveaga. Ah.
Didn't even have enough room for a swing.
Yep. Well, no birdies for our lead card on this hole, but only 10% of the field was able to get it, so they're not losing strokes to too many.
Yeah, just a bunch of pars. On to tournament hole 5. 348-foot par 3. You got the OB left side past the fallen logs. Want to just keep it straight. And also there's the sloping fairway on the right side into another acacia forest. So just keep it straight. Give yourself a birdie look. In round 1, Isaac threw OB left with his harp. Looks like he's throwing the same disc, but much better result, but still short.
Yeah, perhaps an overcorrection from yesterday's mistake. Niklas going for the force flex. Does it flex?
Wow.
It does eventually. Oh, yeah. He's got a look out of that.
Yeah, it sounded like he didn't like it out of his hand, but it fought through.
It really hugged the right side of the fairway pretty much the entire way. Fortunate result for that shot, I'd say.
Gannon with his P3X.
Uh-oh.
It's a little left out of the hand, but it's just a putter.
Yeah, probably would have stayed in bounds even without those logs, but it was close. And now he's in the circle for a birdie.
Jacob with his zone. It's getting overstable, though.
That's generally what zones do. Uh-oh. Did that hit the spotter? Maybe, maybe not. It was going down right about there anyway, I think.
Long putt for Isaac. Almost.
And it's going to be the same result as yesterday, even though he went OB because he hit a great par putt. Jacob just laying up. Didn't have much of a look from there. And here's Niklas for a birdie. After that somewhat fortunate drive. Perfect. Brings him to 9 down. Now has 1 stroke lead over Isaac. Gannon with another double kneeling putt. No low ceiling this time. Probably just trying to get more level with the basket on this downhill look. And a good birdie.
It's like headwind and downhill. Mine goes in the basket. Bro, I'd be laying here, bro.
Couple birdies, couple pars.
All right, on to tournament hole 6. 215 feet. Couple early trees to miss. And then you got the cliffside rollaway potential on the right side. I think most players are going to throw a backhand here so that you kind of get a little bit of Fade at the end of the flight away from the hillside. It's probably a putter for these guys due to the short distance on the hole. Niklas going standstill.
Yep, this is the first of 2 or 3 must-get birdie holes on this otherwise very tough layout. Great shot from Niklas. Yeah, this one averaged 2.6 with over 50% of the field taking birdie.
Gannon with the same putter as the last hole.
Yep, good shot. Oh no.
Yikes.
That's very un-Isaac-like, very unexpected. Just an early release.
Sometimes that eucalyptus tree can get in your head just right off the tee.
Yeah, and I feel like this course in this layout too just puts that much more pressure on players on these few holes that are so easy to birdie when birdies are so hard to come by for the majority of the rest of the layout. So it certainly adds some pressure when you've been playing a bunch of tough holes and you step up to one of the very few where you kind of feel like birdie is almost guaranteed. Oh no, and it gets worse for Isaac. Now hoping to save a bogey at best if he can get up and down from here.
It's the worst if you go down here in the ravine. So this is his third shot.
Probably the best he could do from there, but he still has to hit a just outside the circle putt, I think. Or maybe it's just inside. No, I see the whisker there. He's just outside. Oh, just high. Whew, at least that hit that tree. That was kicking off toward the cliffside again. But man, a double bogey on this hole, that hurts.
Yeah, that's going to be a huge stroke swing as well with Niklas under the basket for birdie.
Jacob just right side. This little shorty hole is showing its teeth. Every hole at DeLaveaga has teeth, even the short ones. Niklas making it look easy, as he should. Taking that birdie, and that's going to give him 3 strokes on Isaac.
Yeah, and Gannon as well gets to -8, so he's past Isaac for total tournament score.
Yeah, Gannon Buhr now in second place.
All right, on to hole 7. Dead straight, 369 feet. There's a couple trees to avoid, including this oddly shaped branch going through the fairway there. You got to go around that. Keep it straight, maybe skip on the walking path and give yourself a look at birdie.
This is another really tough one. Averaged 3.43, the exact same average as hole 1, but this one is actually birdieable. So let's see if anyone on our card can do it. Yeah, too high for Niklas. Thankfully drops straight down to the center of the fairway. Should be a pretty easy up and down for par from there.
Flip, a little bit, flip.
Gannon does not quite get the flip he needed. That was very close to a beautiful shot.
Jacob with his AGL Discs Locust.
Yeah, there's the tree that gives this hole its uniqueness and character. Wow, what a series of tree kicks. How about that? Getting a birdie look out of that drive.
Yeah.
But yeah, that janky tree there is kind of the reason the play is to hug the left side in such a risky fashion, because if you go straight down the middle, you're more likely than not going to hit that tree, as we saw from Jacob there. Now here's a good line going below that tree, straight down the middle. Beautiful shot from Isaac.
In round 1, we saw him almost ace this hole. That was a pretty similar shot from Isaac.
Nice approach from Niklas.
Santa Cruz local Taj Davis on the bag for Gannon Burr.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, God. Gannon just got poked in the eyeball by that?
Yeah.
Close to it.
Said he almost lost his eye.
Oh, passerby wants to watch Gannon putt. Either that or he's just showing some good etiquette. Yeah, that was more of just a layup for par, I think. No real bid from there. And here's Jacob after the very fortunate series of tree kicks. See if he can take advantage of the good luck.
No.
Nope, he cannot.
No.
What? That was reminiscent of his really dirty spit outs, multiple of them at the Preserve last year. Maybe it was the year before, where he kept getting those perfect dead center putts spitting out. He doesn't even putt with a lot of pace like a lot of guys on tour do. That was completely undeserved.
Yeah, it looked like a perfect putt just right on the pole. Even the crowd thought it was in.
Those are the worst, man. I mean, dead center spit outs are always the worst, but the ones where it hesitates in the chains for a split second before jumping back out at you, it's just like insult to injury, especially after his double bogey. He's about to bounce back with a great birdie on a tough hole, and of all the times to get a spit out, that's when it happens. Yeah, I feel for you, Isaac. I'd be upset too right now.
Yeah, especially following the double bogey. Frustration is mounting for sure. On to another kind of must-get birdie hole for these guys. Tournament hole 8, also known as the refrigerator hole or the kitchen. It's a pretty short one, just located right there on the peninsula. Most players gonna throw a overstable putt and approach disc or mid-range sidearm and try and land it softly on the hard pan.
For the distance, though, this one isn't quite as much of a must-get as hole 6 or Gravity that we'll see later in the round. Just because of the tricky basket placement. It's a blind shot off the tee, and you got to really hit a very small landing zone to avoid rolling down a hill behind or in front of the basket.
Yeah, and that was not a good shot from Niklas. It's going to be scrambling, but great shot from Gannon.
Yeah, you can see how steep that hillside is there. There are places where you could land 15 feet from the pin and find yourself sliding or rolling all the way down that hill. And perhaps that was a little foreshadowing, but I don't think that rolled too far. He's still got a look.
Jacob with his DGA Quake.
Perfect looking drive, but yep. Skipped past the basket, might have rolled down the hill behind it a little bit, but... So what's going on here, Keenan?
Here's one of our course locals, Brian B. Money, just identifying the poison oak in his stance, just so he can be a little bit more cognizant of it when he takes his stance, but still has to take a knee, so just make sure to wash off afterwards and get those oils off before it becomes a rash.
I believe technically he would have had the option to take relief, in a straight line from the basket through his lie behind it with I think it's called the hazardous plants and animals rule, but obviously that would have given him a way worse lie, so he opted to just stick his leg in there.
This is a scary birdie putt for Isaac, kind of a death putt.
Oh no, down the hillside behind the basket. Yeah, this one's got more teeth than the other short holes on the course for sure.
Niklas for par.
Ooh, great catch. High right side. How does that catch and Isaac's on the previous hole doesn't? And here's Isaac coming back for the par. He's good for it, but man, that's frustrating. He's had a rough stretch of holes here and hits his head on the tree on the way up. You don't often see Isaac Robinson express frustration like that, but if one course is going to do it to a usually cool and collected player like Isaac, it's DeLaveaga. And good birdie from Jacob there.
Yeah, and I know this is only Isaac's 4th round total at DeLaveaga, so sometimes it does require a little bit of course knowledge out here, and it's tough to watch him get a little bit of beating from the course. On to tournament hole 9, the last hole of round 2, part 1, 550-foot par 3, affectionately known as I-5, one of the most difficult par 3s on the West Coast, if not the world.
Yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and say it, Keenan. I know we're calling this a par 3, but I'm calling it a par 4 in my head. I mean, it averaged 3.65. It requires either a throw-in or a, top power Simon Lizotte over the top shot to get a putt at all.
Or this.
Yeah, I mean, there's the best possible normal, quote-unquote, normal drive, and he's still looking at like 100 feet.
Yeah, it's from the days of Ironman golf.
Yep. This is definitely an old school course.
Jacob's octane gets through everything. That's pretty good too.
Yep. Niklas going for that left side gap as well. Clips some branches, but continues forward. Might be down the slope a ways, though. We'll see what he's left with.
Isaac throwing his rive again.
Nice.
Great shot. It's the longer of the two gaps, and he's going to be left with a pretty straightforward approach from there. Although, there's always some trees in the way, even with a perfect drive on this hole. Niklas with a forehand chip shot around the left side, and he's in the circle for a par look. Isaac just laying up for the par. Man, I want to see a 2 on this hole, guys. Come on. Although I understand not wanting to run that 90-footer aggressively. Yep. It's a classic tweener, that's for sure.
Yeah, looks like we're going to have a... Well, Niklas has got to make this putt first, but we might have a grouping of threes. There we go.
It looks like we will. And just like round 1, there were 0 birdies on this in round 2. And I said this in round 1 as well, but I maintain that we are still more likely to see a birdie on hole 1 than we are to see a birdie on this hole in the final round. But I would honestly love to see either.
So that's going to do it for round 2, part 1 of Top World's Masters Cup coverage. Here's your scores after 9 holes. Niklas in the lead at -10, but Gannon only 1 stroke back. Isaac at -6 and Jacob at -5.
Yeah, our world champion struggling a little bit here. Niklas and Gannon pulling ahead of our card a bit, but look at this top 10. Matty O in a tie for 2nd place. Robert Lockwood, Alden Harris, Noah Mindsma, other people out there shooting hot. We'll see if any of these guys make our lead card for final round after we watch the back 9 of this round.
Thanks for watching, and we'll see you there.